hops in, then that's okay too. Um, yeah, so first we just want to thank everybody for being here. We know that it's a busy week. It's a strange season with COVID and everything being online. Zoom fatigue is real, and we're just grateful that all of you guys are here. We have selected new officers for the next semester, and so I wanted to take some time and allow the new officers to introduce themselves for those of you who may not know them. Sedona, do you want to start?
Sure, yeah. So I'm Sedona Clark. I am one of the secretary officers, and I'm looking forward to being part of this club with everyone.
Mercedes?
Hi guys, I'm Mercedes. This semester I was the communications officer, but next semester I will be vice president. So I'm really excited to get that going and hopefully have a great finish off this semester, but have a great semester the following one.
Crystal?
Hi everyone, my name's Crystal. I will be the other half of your secretary along with Sedona.
And Rhonda?
Hi, I'm Rhonda, and I will be the communications officer this semester. And I'm looking forward to putting all of our communication out there, social media, whatever platform we can utilize to expose ourselves and put ourselves out there.
And then for those of you who don't know me, my name is Monica. I'm currently the vice president, and then next semester I will be active president. We definitely don't want to leave out Jessica and Nikki. So Jessica and Nikki, I don't know if you want to introduce yourselves or say a few words.
I'm Nikki. I was the secretary this semester. It's been a crazy semester, but yeah, I'm happy that we were able to get new people in that are excited for next semester because this club is so great and I don't want to see it fail. So I'm so happy that you guys stepped forward to take those positions. Thank you.
My name is Jessica. I have been the president of this club for the last year. And since I'm graduating, I will no longer be. But I'm really excited for Monica. I'm so proud of you and already, doing such a great job with planning this meeting. So thank you everyone for being here.
Jessica, would you mind introducing our speaker for today?
Gladly. Gretchen is our guest speaker today, Gretchen Melvin. I had the pleasure of meeting her last year when I went through the CSUMB SEMT program that she will talk about. She is an incredible individual with great knowledge and experience in this industry. She's a great person to learn from, and currently working at Pebble Beach. She's working in a different capacity than she's used to, which I'm sure she will mention. But yeah, without further ado, Gretchen Melvin.
Thank you, Jessica. Thank you all for being here today. I recognize some faces of former students who have participated and some who are going to participate this year. So nice to see everybody. Yes, I am in special events, but currently I've been in resort reservations for the last 6 months, and I've learned a whole new side of it, which I had never intended to learn, and it's been incredibly interesting and gives me more knowledge of the resort and operations. So for today, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about special events and how they operate, how we operate. And I think it might be especially interesting for those of you who are considering this as a career path. It really does take a lot to put on a special event, particularly at Pebble Beach. And with some of you graduating soon, this might be some good practical information on how we operate and put events on. After that, I'll show you a quick overview of the events that we do here at Pebble Beach in our little office. And then I'll end with a focus on the Concord Elegance and the partnership between CSUMB and Pebble Beach Company and the opportunities for the SEMT 2021. So I would like to introduce here from Pebble Beach is Cruz Amaraz Esparza. There she is. Hi, Cruz. She is also special events manager with Pebble Beach in our office, and she's been with Pebble Beach for over 20 years. So her most recent focus was the US Open. but she has shifted over to all our special events. And before that, she spent a significant amount of time in catering and conference services. She is a master. And that may be a path that some of you are interested in the future. So she will be happy to answer any questions we have at the end of the presentation. So thank you, Cruz, for being here. All right, I'm gonna stop my video and share the screen so you can follow along on the PowerPoint. So let's see, maybe I'll stop the video or maybe I won't. There we go. Can you all still hear me?
Yes.
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 Thank you. Okay. So I'm going to start with a brief overview of myself and how I got to special events in Pebble Beach. It was an unusual path. I actually graduated from UC Davis with degrees in both German and international relations with an emphasis on international economics, which I use never in my role in hospitality. My last quarter of school, I changed my mind of what I wanted to do and found my love of editing and publishing. And I worked at newspapers and publishing companies until 2003. After that, a series of events led to my interest in Pebble Beach, but with no hospitality experience, I was quite certain I would never get a job at a hotel and certainly not a resort like this. But what got me the job was attention to detail. I had no F&B experience, no operations experience, but I had other skills that they needed in this industry. The rest they knew they could teach me. The skills that got me hired were organization, attention to detail, ability to follow directions, accountability, resourcefulness, and the ability to multitask. And I think these will be just as important to you as you seek out internships and jobs as a new graduate. At Pebble Beach, I started out in catering and conference services and was there for a year, mostly working on local socials and weddings. I know people either love weddings and local socials or they do not like them. I was one of the few who actually loved working on weddings, and it was a real joy. But with no operations experience, I wanted to be a better catering manager. So I went to banquets to learn about how to execute an event from the operations side so I could go back and write better BEOs and make better events for our guests. But while I was there, I discovered and moved on to special events. It's the perfect combination of all the skills I had and had learned along the way. Most of the work for special events is behind the scenes. It's intense pre-planning. It's lots of organizing yourself, your teammates, vendors, clients, you name it. It also involves the ability to solve problems and think outside the box and to use all the resources available to get to the main event. So, sorry, let me get there we go. So what does it take to manage special events? We always say in our department, the devil is in the details. Major event planning is very different from the usual planning taking place in hotels and resorts handled by catering and conference services team. Social event groups such as weddings, club events, fundraisers, funerals, corporate events with rooms, meetings, golf, meal functions, those are all handled by the catering and conference services team. But the large scale events that we're talking for thousands, even hundreds of thousands of people are handled by special events. It's an overwhelming amount of detail and logistics that go into the planning of a major event to get all the moving parts to work together. So, how do we stay on track? In order for us to stay on track, we use many lists, diagrams, grids, charts, and timelines to manage all of our details. I'm going to talk about a few of the key tools that we use. And I want you to take a look and notice the depth and attention to detail in every document, because every detail, no matter how minor, is very important. First thing we use, our most important, is a task list. It's our most important document. It keeps us on track for each event by laying out every planning step, and we could not function without it. I highly recommend it for any type of task or project you're undertaking. I even use this for personal projects in my life. It's been developed over the years and it's updated frequently based on what happened last year and what's new for this year's event. It includes major and minor tasks, and we note the progress we've made along the way. Each event we work on has its own task list, and they do overlap each other as we're usually working on multiple events at one time. currently on my board, I've got 4 different task lists that I'm working off of for all the events. You have to get used to multitasking this business. Another very important document we use is a timeline. It's used by all our operations teams, our vendors, and our event partner. It's our operations roadmap. It's a shared document that's updated by both special events and our event partner. And it usually starts with the first action, such as an installation date or preparing for installation. For instance, one of the things we always note is marking the ground for water, power, gas lines right before an installation of a tent. It's not something you think of until the very first day when they hit the gas line or hit the water line, and it's happened. So we make sure to prepare ahead of time. So everybody, we send it out to everybody who's impacted by it so they know what's coming up and what they need to do to prepare. Another interesting tool we use is our recap, an event recap, we call it. After each event, we ask all key operations staff to give us feedback. What worked, what didn't work, and we also ask them to provide a solution for us for next year or a good idea. Special events, then our office reviews it prior to planning for the next event to improve upon the previous year and to implement new ideas. It's one of our core values at our company to keep improving. And Bayat, our former boss, who some of you have met, who I'll talk about a little later, always said, whatever we did last year is not good enough. We always have to do better the next year. This is one of the ways we do it. Next tool that we use is our diagram program. And we use a Microsoft product called Visio, but I know there's many other programs you can use, and maybe some of you have already learned other programs. But we create diagrams for the service tent area, service tents and all the areas around them, all the concessions that you see on the course, parking lots, you name it, we've got a diagram for it. We even have diagrams of concession service and the order of how we want the hamburgers to be assembled. We've got a diagram for that. But if you can see the detail in this diagram, I know it's kind of small, but you can see kind of where all the containers go. You can see we've got where the water goes, dishwashing tents, we've got entrances and exits, shelving. We tell stewarding exactly where to put the shelving. And this is basically the layout. So this is the best, it's most efficient for the kitchen so they can service. This is up at the Parc de Concours for Concours where they're servicing the huge tent for the very, very VIP guests. Next is our request system. So we manage an internal online request system where department managers can enter all their special equipment needs. And you can see from the request types that it really covers basically everything. And this is all the things, all the operations and equipment that we need for all our events. And it seems kind of minor, but you know, even the bag ice, it tells the purchasing department how many bags of ice, what size they are, when they need to be delivered, what time, down to the exact location where to drop it. Banquet equipment is kind of all the tables and chairs that we need. Coffee equipment, Coke coolers, we give these to our vendors, and so they can order it ahead of time and then install it for us. So you can see all these different things it takes just to put on one event. And this equipment all correlates with and matches the diagrams that we were just looking at. It provides a different visual representation of our needs, so the various groups can use the info the way they need. Meaning purchasing needs to total everything up so they know how to order it. But then stewarding needs a diagram. They need the list so they know what items to pull, but then they need the diagram because they need to know where to put it. So all these things match up, and it's very important in our department. And this is where the details come into play, that these things match. So if we say we have 3 Coke coolers in the request system, then we have 3 Coke coolers on the diagram. So it's a lot of going back and forth and making sure everything is correct. Next is our tenting list, and that is a big component of each event, which you've no doubt seen when you've seen our events. We work with the operations staff to determine the tenting needs, and these are include back of the house, like our big kitchens, satellite kitchens, and then our front of our house, our big retail tents and all the concessions on the course. We bid out and contract with a tent vendor, and it's a very, very long and detailed document that Cruise oversees. But basically, we take these diagrams and we give them to the vendor, and the vendors work off of these to build these actual tents. So, I mean, I don't know if you can see how detailed they are, but we're even telling them what kind of wall we want. We're telling them where we want our entrance, and just sort of lots of details that probably more than they ever get from anybody else. We've heard that a lot, but really important items nonetheless. And then in our department, we use these to oversee the tent installation and the strike, meaning when and how things are dismantled, and following all the safety and building guidelines as well. So another big document that we use is our power grid, and it may not be something you think of as an event manager, but it's actually very important to keep the show running, like literally keeping the show running. We work with our operations staff to determine the power and the water needs, and we know all that from the request system and from the diagrams that we've created. And then we give these to our engineering staff through this grid. And actually today, as I was walking down to the lodge, our engineering already asked me for the power grid for our event in February. So we start way ahead and plan ahead, and this is how they can be successful. It has details like volts and amps and wattage, receptacle configuration types, the location, the start and finish dates, the potable water needs, fueling for generators. It's all on here. It's not really very glamorous, but it's really important. Special events is a lot of behind the scenes and getting dirty and to make it happen. So in addition to all these, we coordinate, distribute operations plans for our executive team. So this is, for instance, for Concord, we have a parking plan, which is the traffic flow, parking and traffic, which is the traffic flow and parking flow for the entire resort and event. We have a garage plan, and just to give you an idea of the detail, we have each space numbered, and we have exactly who's going to be in every space on this plan. So it's very detailed. And we count those, we count the spaces every year just to make sure we have it right. We have access plans. We have a field exit plan, meaning for Concord, we want all the show cars to go the same way so they don't run into each other. It's actually very important, turns out. We have a cleanup plan for all the departments, the order and how they need to clean up after the event, an emergency plan, those kinds of things that you just need to think about ahead of time and have in place for if and when you need to implement them. And then, of course, we have many other tasks and facets of each event. So for instance, the phone list is, we compile all the phone numbers for all the important operations people out in the field. And it's a little wallet-sized little card that we give to everybody. And so if you need to troubleshoot or call somebody in the middle of the event, you've got everybody's number right there in a handy little sheet that we hand out. We also are very diligent about our photo documentation. So we took almost 4,000 pictures for Concord last year, but really you need every one of them, and it helps you for the next year on how to do things better and where we place things and what worked, what didn't work. We also work on the fire department approval packets, health department permits, ABC permits, building department permits. All of these things have to be done and done correctly, because if they're not out, they can and will shut the event down if we have not done it right. So those are very, very important. So you can see from the slides, that's just a small percentage of what we do in our department, but of course they are the most important. And what we think it takes to succeed in the special events business for us is, of course, attention to detail and event knowledge, problem solving skills, excellence in visualizing, especially for diagrams, for the flow of people, for the traffic flow. It takes a visionary, and you got to see the big picture and to see how all the moving parts work together. Of course, a willingness to always improve. and a great team, and also a great teamwork attitude. We work with every department and we often need things from them. And so it's figuring out how to work with others with a great attitude. So now that I've told you a little bit about how we do it, I just kind of want to tell you a little bit about the events that we do in our department. So first in the year is AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. It takes place every February. As you probably know, it's a little different this year. And although it's reduced in size, it still requires all those tasks and the tools that I just mentioned. Next in the year is the Pebble Beach Food and Wine, which is usually in April, the week after Easter. The Concord Elegance is held every August, and we end the year with the Pure Insurance Championship impacting the first tee, which is in September. We recently held the US Open in 2019, and we are looking forward to hosting the US Women's Open in 2023 and the US Open back in 27. So I'm going to quickly review every event and show you a few pictures. AT&T is February 8th through 14th, 2021 this year. It started in 1937 and it has been played at Pebble Beach since 1947. For us, one of our major areas of focus during the events is the corporate hospitalities. And this is what the chalet hospitality tent entrances look like. These facilities they have individual clients in each little section, and they serve about over 2,000 meals every day. This is a good example of an upgraded interior. It's all decked out with the hardwood flooring, the upgraded bar, and lighting, and seating. And remember, this is a tent. This is a temporary structure that we build, and then it's dismantled, and everything, just about nearly all these materials are upcycled, recycled, composted. It's very important, particularly for AT&T. The sustainability for this event is very important to us. Our waste diversion is a very high percentage. Another type of corporate hospitality are the sky suites, which you can see here. The three locations are the 18th fairway, the 18th green, and the 17th green. And it's kind of what they look like a little up closer. They're double-decker buildings, and these again are for the VIP corporate hospitality clients. And then this is an interior shot. I don't know if you can see the 18th along the way, but again, a nice upgraded interior, great experience for the guests with the stadium seating in front for the corporate guests. And of course, for this event, the players are our top VIPs. And their families. So this looks like an airport building, but really this is a temporary structure. This is a tent, and this is the interior service area and for the players, and that's handled through our banquets team. But most of people attending the Pebble Beach AT&T will eat from the on-course food and beverage tents. These are our concessions tents. And again, these are the diagrams and the signage and the tents that we've ordered, and all the equipment that we've ordered, our Coke coolers, everything is ordered through our department. But we have 9 tents over 3 golf courses, the MPCC, Spyglass, and Pebble Beach. And then we move on to the Pebble Beach Food and Wine. It's typically in April, and it is a spectacular event for the food and beverage world. It has quickly risen to be one of the top 3 chef and winery gatherings in the United States. And I don't know if you can really tell the size of this tent, but it's a full length this way, full length all the way to the back. And then you can see the line of guests waiting to get in. This particular event is about 2,500 guests for this grand tasting. So just some fun facts and events about the Pebble Beach Food and Wine. It includes a golf tournament on Thursday and Friday for 144 players, opening night reception at the Inn at Spanish Bay for over 2,000 guests, a bunch of cooking demos, celebrity chefs, lunches with people like Chef Morimoto or Chef Roy Yamaguchi, many dinners on and off property. They range from 50 to 250 people, and the most expensive one is up to $2,500 a guest, including some interactive dinners. then we have the grand tastings, and one on Saturday, one on Sunday, attracting, it's over 2,500 guests each. Plus, when you think it's over, it's not. There's an after hours party that doesn't start till 10 or 11 and goes until very early in the morning. So just a few more pictures of the event. It's pretty intense, a lot of culinary volunteers behind the scenes, but it's a great experience for everybody. Our event in September is the Pure Insurance Championship, impacting the first tee. It's our smallest event, but it's a mighty little event. It started in 1997. It's part of the Seniors Tour, the PGA Champions Tour. And as fun and amazing as this event is, it doesn't really attract very many spectators, but that means you can walk close to the players and watch world famous golfers as they mentor their junior partners. It's an amazing experience for the kids. The mission of the First Tee is to impact the lives of young people around the world by creating affordable and accessible golf facilities to serve those who have not previously had exposure to the game and its values. And the First Tee has 8 core values, some of which are honesty, integrity, and sportsmanship. It's just a really great organization to be partnered with. And so that takes me to our last event, which is the Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance. And this event has definitely grown beyond just a one-day show at Pebble Beach. It has a huge local impact with many events held in the Monterey area, like the Quail, the historic races at Laguna Seca, Concorso Italiano, many auctions online and in person. And if anybody's been here during Concours Week, you know how busy the entire peninsula is. It's a zoo. But this is the main event of the entire week, is the Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance on Concours Sunday. And this picture shows you very well the many spectators it attracts. In the center, you'll see a 100-foot long concession tent, as well as next to it, a tent specifically selling just martinis and coffee. And that martini tent sold over $38,000 worth of drinks in one day on Concours. But further down, you can see the retail tent and a second concession tent to take care of all the spectators that we have. The lucky ones who are invited by the corporate sponsors or are considered VIPs get to eat and drink in the hospitalities, such as the patios that you see here with the green umbrellas. Hospitalities are decks that are built out along the lower guest rooms at the lodge along the 18th ferry, and they are managed by the SCMT. We serve about 2,500 guests in these VIP areas and over 20,000 guests in the concessions. So how do we do this in one day? Besides the 1,500 full-time employees at Pebble Beach, we hire an additional 700 temporary employees who work in areas such as banquet service, restaurant service, culinary, shuttle drivers, housekeeping, concierge, stewarding, and ecology. Additionally, we have created a partnership with DBC HRM program. They provide 60 culinarians from their program to prepare all the food. And that's where you come in. We hire hospitality managers for the CSUMB Special Event Management Team. So I'll tell you a little bit about this program. SEMT has a long history. It actually started in 1991 with UNLV in preparation for the 1992 US Open Golf Tournament. This was the brainchild of Beat Giger, who hopefully some of you have had the chance to meet and get to know. He recently retired after over 30 years with Pebble Beach Company. He's my former boss. And his vision was a win-win-win situation, meaning a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity and experience for the students while meeting the staffing needs for Pebble Beach resorts, but also providing Pebble Beach's world-class service to our guests. The last year with UNLV was 2005 when the professor moved to UNLV Singapore, so we had to find a new school. So it started in 2006 with San Jose State University, and we've been working with them over the last 16 years, focusing primarily on the AT&T Pro-Am. 2018 was the inaugural year with CSUMB training for the Concours d'Elegance, and it was a long time coming for Dr. Avella, I know. We are thrilled to be able to offer this opportunity to the local students. Our community is so important to us, and this partnership is a very special way for us to work with CSUMB and its amazing students and to provide practical, hands-on career experience. We are very excited for our third year. As we get back into events after COVID, we will rely on CSUMB SEMT members, both current and former, to fill management roles for this event. So here are the students of the inaugural CSUMB SEMT program. These students, as will you, managed 1 or 2 corporate hospitality patios. We recognize that you as college students may not have a lot, if any, management experience. So this is the perfect opportunity to be trained in the event operation, as well as learning management and leadership skills. We hear it over and over again that the training and real world experience will prove to be very, very valuable for you in your future career endeavors. And these are the students of the second year of the program. Hopefully you recognize some of your peers and some are on the call today. And you may recognize Jessica, who participated, and she would like to tell you a little bit about her experience. Go ahead, Jessica.
So everything that Gretchen has said and anything that you will hear from Dr. Avella or any of your professors, it is all true, and I cannot stress that enough. I applied last year and went through the interview process. It was a panel interview. There were 5 people interviewing me, which was very intimidating. But it was incredible practice. And I think that no one has anything to lose by applying. It's a great process going through the panel interview. And it's a great learning experience all the way through. They train you so well to a point where this was my first time getting real management experience. And I was very intimidated and worried, am I going to be able to do a good enough job? And they trained us so well that by the time the event day came, I felt confident in myself. I felt supported by my classmates and the staff at Pebble Beach, to where if I needed anything, I knew that I could turn to anyone around me for help. The training days were long, but they were incredibly informative. There was not a time where I felt that I was bored or there was dull moments, because they made the training very fun. We had a lot of fun team building exercises and competitions. We had a competition doing like teams to see who could do the best buffet setup. That's just one example of a great way that they kept us engaged and also competitive while gaining great experience. So the next piece after the interviewing and the training was an event setup, which was an incredible experience as well. We spent the days leading up to Concourse Sunday setting up our hospitalities and waiting for deliveries from the floral department and setting everything up. It was incredibly delayed having the patios built, and mine was one of the last ones built, and it was supposed to have been completed the day before and was not, but that's just how it goes in the event business. So that was a great learning moment for me, learning about the reality of events and how they don't always go as planned, and how important it is to adapt and do everything that you can to do the best job moving forward. I learned a lot about communicating with my fellow classmates and communicating with the floral department and rentals and the client as well. The specific hospitality that I had was FlexJet. I had 200 guests at the peak of the day, and I was communicating with my client, and it's incredible because they don't treat you like a college student. When you're at Pebble Beach, you have your first name and your last name on your name tag, and you're treated really as a manager because that's what you are in this experience. And it's a great feeling, and it's incredible experience. I can't stress that enough. So it was a great experience. When my um, client wanted another bartender, I had to scramble to find some server from another hospitality that knew how to make drinks. So everyone has a different experience on event day because we're all managing our own hospitalities, but everyone had a different takeaway and learned different lessons. But I can't stress enough how important it is. And in my personal life, I've gotten further in my career and interviewed for a promotion just this past week because of my internship with Pebble Beach. And then I had the opportunity to work the Pro-Am. They invited me back in February to work that as well. And at that point, I was supervising the San Jose State students who had done what I did the previous August. So there's a lot of incredible opportunity and learning experiences, and it is something that I would recommend to anybody. It is a life-changing experience that will give you knowledge to take with you throughout your entire career.
Great.
Thank you so much, Jessica. It's hard to describe what it's like and what you get out of it, but that was great. Thank you. So that leaves us with what's next. This year's looking a little different. So right now, the hospitality department website will be updated with the dates and information soon. So we'll have an information session on March 1st, and we're going to tell you a little bit more about the actual duties, more about the event, what you'll be doing, what you can expect. We'll go over the
Gretchen.
training schedule. Yeah.
Gretchen,
Yes.
I asked Roberta to kind of chime in.
Yes. Please.
Because I know that you two worked together the last couple of years, and Dr. Atsori is the managing professor for this particular internship. So Roberta, chime in anytime you want.
Well, I'll keep going through the dates, but Roberta, hop on when you, if you want. So this is a fall 2021 internship. So, but the work will be done in August. So we'll start with the information session, then we'll have the applications will be due, and you'll see the link on the hospitality page once those applications are ready. On April 7th, we will have online interviews, and it'll be a panel interview via Zoom. And then we will announce the team a couple days later. And then scheduling will be a little different than we've done in the past, but we will have training and orientation in August. And then we will have event week is August 9th through 15th, and Concourse Sunday is August 15th of 2021. So again, Roberta, I don't know if you had anything else you want to add?
Yes, I just John asked me to say a few words. So I teach the internship course that is related to the program, to the STMT program, because students will enroll in an internship in the fall semester, like Gretchen just said. So the students will be completing the work in August, but they will be enrolled in the course starting in August as well, at the beginning of the fall semester. And this will cover the internship requirement for the hospitality students. So each hospitality student is required to do at least one internship during their degree, and the program will serve as the internship for the graduation requirement. And the internship course is 1 semester long, 4-credit course, and they will the students will it's completely asynchronous. The students will be completing 4 papers that will give them the opportunity to reflect on their internship experience with Pebble Beach. So that is, and the course, the internship course will end in December at the end of the full semester.
Okay, great.
I have to say, I was a part of the SEMT for 2019 as well, and I back everything that Jessica said, and it was seriously a great experience for me. I had no management experience, not even food and beverage experience going into it, and I learned so much, and I gained so much from it. And I heard a story before I even was a part of it that somebody applied for a job and all they talked about was the Pebble Beach internship that they had. And it actually applied to me too. I went to go interview for a job and they just kept asking me questions about Pebble Beach and my experience and my management and everything like that. And it has done so much for me already. And I can't imagine once I actually graduate what it will do for me to have Pebble Beach on my resume. And then like Roberta was saying, it helped me a lot just for the school year in general, because I was basically done with my internship course before the classes even started. So I had that class on my schedule, but I was already done with everything. So that was just another like, it was great. I just have to say, like, I'm so grateful to have been a part of the whole program and everything. And I still can't believe that I was even a part of that. So thank you guys.
Thank you, Nikki. We had a lot of fun. We had a fun year.
It was fun.
Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, I do. This is Benji. Sorry. Did I interrupt somebody?
No, it's okay. Go ahead, Benji.
Okay, sorry. So I applied for the program before COVID hit. So what about, do I have to do I have to go through the process again? Or because I was on the previous team selection, do I automatically, or for anybody else who was already accepted, do we get a free pass or do we have to do it again?
We do want you to go through the process again, just because we'd like to see what has changed or been updated on your resume or any experience, and just kind of re-talk to you once again. Now you're a pro at it, but yeah, we will open it up to everybody once again.
Okay, and I mean, I guess I just don't want to, if I go through it again, I mean, I guess I can't guarantee myself a spot, but you know, it would feel like a loss if I don't know how to put it, but I just don't want to go through it and not get accepted kind of deal. And I feel other people might feel the same way.
Yes, we understand, and we honor that you did it before and that we accepted you before. So that's, I would say, probably not something you would need to worry about.
Okay, sounds good.
Thanks for the question.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I also had a similar question too, because I was like, honestly, I was very excited and then waiting to participate this past semester. And, you know, I know things happened, but and I would be taking the class, the internship next semester, not in fall, because that's how I have to arrange for my graduation. So can I still participate even though I won't be enrolled for fall? I mean, I will be enrolled in school, but not for the internship class. The internship, I will be taking it during the spring.
Can answer that question, Gretchen?
Yes.
Janet, you will have to take the internship course again. And it will, you can take as many internships as you would like in the hospitality course. But if you're planning to take the internship in the spring, then you can re-enroll in the fall. And as Nikki said, once you've participated in the Pebble Beach SEMT program, then the 4 reflection papers will be very easy for you because you've already completed similar papers in the spring, and you will be just reflecting on this new experience.
Yeah, so, and I mean, honestly, that's what I want, you know, like the experience. That's what I'm looking for.
We'll make sure you get it.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions, or John or Angel, is there anything that you want to add? We do have a Kahoot game and we're going to send somebody a e-gift card as a prize. I don't know if you want to move right into that or if there's something else that you want to say or if there are any other questions.
I saw somebody asked if it's an unpaid internship, which it is.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, the experience, it's priceless. So I would definitely
get credits for it. So it's it is unpaid, but you do get school credits for it.
I actually got one more question. Can we find the application in the same spot it was last semester on the under the special events management page for CSUMB?
Yes, once we update that, we'll put the application in the same spot, and Cindy is working on that. We'll be working on that, so she will be able to let you know when everything is up and ready to be
through email. Okay.
Yep.
Got it. Thank you.
Of course.
I just want to make a comment, and that is we really appreciate Gretchen. First of all, she's extremely knowledgeable. She's very, very friendly, very engaging. If you run into a problem, she's there for you. She's a very special person, everybody. And she's pushed really hard to make sure that we had a great partnership between Pebble Beach and CSUMB. And I'm just so happy that we have the partnership. It took us quite a few years. You notice that San Jose State was there first, but that was before we had a program. So Pebble Beach has found that we have the best students. So notice the smile on Gretchen's face. So.
Well, it's been wonderful. It's an amazing school, an amazing partnership, and we've had such a great experience. I'm so happy we finally were able to bring it together. So thank you, John. Thank you, everybody, very much for being here. I really appreciate it.
Okay, good. So Monica, just carry on. I'm gonna buzz off.
I had one quick question, if I could quickly ask. For the real quick, going back towards that internship, are you able to go through the application not going through that internship first, or do you have to take that internship with going through the application process? Because I don't, for me, I wouldn't be going through the internship till next fall, but what if I want to still go through this application process and have this opportunity? I don't know if that was a understandable question or not.
I can answer that question too. Sedona, you will be going through the application process in the spring and through the training in the summer. And the event will be in the summer. You won't be enrolled in the internship course until the fall. So you don't have to worry. You can absolutely apply. The program will actually happen before the internship course starts. So you don't have to worry about that.
Okay, that's what I thought. Just wanted to make sure I had the correct clarification in my own mind. So thank you.
Of course.
Thank you again, Gretchen, for being here and taking the time to share this with us. We're gonna go ahead and move on. We have a Kahoot. It's 10 minutes until our meeting is officially over. If anybody else has any questions regarding the internship, you're welcome to email me, email Jessica, email Roberta or John, and we can give you some more answers. But I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen.